Hello, my name is Amanda Bartholomew, and I'm a Silver Premier with Perfectly Posh, and right now we are chatting on spend $99 and get at least $250 in product plus business supplies for $99. So we're getting a great value just to start our own business. Also, we do have a return policy outlined in the policies and procedures in which you can return those things if you decide it's not for you. So right there, pretty much gets rid of that idea. But I'm going to give you some more ideas, tips, and tricks when people say, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, that's an MLM, and nobody can make money doing that, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so first of all, let me just give you an analogy. So when I first got my first job, I worked at a coffee shop. I was a barista, and I was making people's coffee, and I made a set wage. Well, there was a person that was a shift manager, and they were the people that had the keys. They opened the door. They were the ones that locked the door. They were responsible for that. They got paid more money because they had more job, right? Like if I made somebody a coffee and I made them a hazelnut latte instead of a caramel macchiato and they got all mad about that, I understand getting upset, but some people, they get really upset about that. So they could talk to the shift lead. So again, they have more responsibility, so they're getting paid some more money. And then you have like an assistant manager who's in charge of making sure they do the inventory, getting the products in, taking them out, making sure that people, don't have health code violations. So they have more responsibility. Then you have the store manager, and they manage the inside and the outside and all the people, and they're making sure that you're making money and everybody's being productive, and everybody who's making the wrong drinks gets a little bit of extra training. So they get paid even more money. Then you have somebody who's in charge of the whole region and then the whole state, and it goes up and up and up and up, okay? So if you've ever worked like for any company, then that's pretty much how it's set up, right? Because the more responsibility you have, the more money you make a little bit, right? Well, I also liken being in this business to being on a team, and the person who recruited you, which is an MLM word, like recruit and downline, you don't have to use those terms. You can use other terms like sponsor, coachee, whatever terms you like. But basically, when I invite you in and I start sharing with you how to do it, it's kind of like if you were out like on a soccer field. And my daughter's 3. Could you imagine coaching 3-year-olds running around the field with a soccer ball? But basically, the coach is going to be there and say, hey, this is how you should kick. These are the boundaries. This is the way you need to go, and helping you. So when you take a look at the pay plan, and people say, what? You're doing all that work and that person's making some money off of you? I don't even like that. Well, take a step back for a second. At 9 o'clock at night, when you sit down to enter a party and you're not sure how to push a cart through, who are you going to private message? Or text or call? Probably the person who invited you to the company. If you aren't quite sure about a product because your friend wants to buy a lip scrub and you've never used one before, who are you going to call to find out about the product? Probably the person who invited you to the business. So they're coaching you and coaching you and coaching you along the way. So yeah, they're going to make a little bit of money off of that, but it's not coming from your paycheck. That's the way it's set up. Just because you start doing better doesn't mean that they're going to be making that money instead of you. They're not. They're getting a little bit, which we call a leadership check, which comes out on the 10th of the month for all that hard work they're putting in. The other thing that we have set up in our pay plan is that that person who brought you in, they can't just sit back and be like, yeah, you go sell and you go sell. No, they're doing it too. So they, in order to get paid on you that they're helping, they have to do monthly minimums of $500 a month to be a leader. That means that they're tuned in and that they're engaged. If they don't do that, then they're not receiving that leadership bonus because they're not being the coach that you need to succeed. So if you go beyond that, if somebody comes up to you and starts talking about how much money you can make, and they go on and on and on about how much money they're making, and you don't even know what they're selling, maybe you can think about some like products or companies that have done that. People have come to you to try to sell something. Well, then that could kind of be thought of like a pyramid, or you could be a little skeptical. Maybe it's not a pyramid, but it makes you skeptical. I'm also really skeptical of companies that require like an auto shipment. Why, if I love the product and if my customers love the product, then why are you requiring me to order every month? Because if I love it, aren't I going to want to order anyway? That sets off a red flag in my head. And when I talk about the business with people, then that's one thing I explain that we don't have. I mean, and our products last a really long time. Naturally based, they go a long way, so maybe you don't need it again that month. Another thing that I find really important is that we don't have like a monthly minimum. So you can have your business and you can sell and you can make money on what you're selling. You are only able to control your personal volume. What you sell, you are guaranteed that commission on, right? Well, some companies say, okay, you can keep selling and selling and selling and people can buy from your website, which I love that Posh's website's free. They can buy from your website, but then you're not going to get any money on that unless you sell at least X amount. I don't like that. If I decide that I personally would like to sell $200, like, I should only have to sell $200 and I should still get paid on what I sell. Well, guess what? Posh does even one better than some companies that do that because they give you that money that you sell like the following Wednesday. So if you place that order from Sunday to Saturday, you're going to get that paycheck the following Wednesday. They're not holding your money. So when you're chatting with people on the business, those are some things that you need to remember. And some people can be skeptical and that's okay. And you keep pushing forward and you say, just watch me do it. I started out with a $99 kit. And I shared the products and I shared the opportunity for other people to do the same thing. So I just encourage you, if you have any more questions about this, reach out to your upline, reach out to your sponsor. That's what they're there for because they're your coach. And know that what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it because we are not the pyramid scheme.